Two words for you today: long term. That is where your mindset should be when it comes to Pokemon card investing. Today's video is all about sharing a couple of products that I think are going to be phenomenal investments long term. Like, these are four of the best long-term investments you can possibly park your money into. Now, unfortunately, at the moment, the hobby is, I guess it's being, I don't know if hijacked is the right word, but there's certainly a lot of other synonyms you could use, probably similar to hijack, to explain it at the moment. We all know there's a lot of people making money off the hobby from essentially scalping product at the moment. And that really is two other words. It's not long-term, it's short-term. What that means is essentially people are buying out product that other people would essentially buy in dribs and drabs, whether it's parents buying for kids or collectors buying for themselves or players buying to open or casual sealed collectors, investors being able to buy. Like, it's people essentially buying out, or coordinated groups buying out the whole stock of something as soon as it drops and reselling it for a higher price. Like, that is literally the definition of scalping. Unfortunately, it's probably been the most prolonged period in the hobby I've ever seen of that happening. Of course, it happened back in sort of late 2020 to maybe mid 2021 for about a 9-month period where product was really difficult to get. 25th anniversary. UPCs were difficult to get. Evolving Skies in a lot of cases was difficult to get. Down here in Australia, even Brilliant Stars was quite difficult to get. Second wave print runs of even things like Vivid Voltage were a touch difficult to get because the first wave was sort of eaten up so quickly during that COVID hype. So look, it's happened before, but this is probably the most prolonged period it's happened for. Like, it's been a solid 12 months plus, maybe even close to 18 months where products just getting bought out and then resold for a higher price. And unfortunately, that short-term mindset of people making quick money is going to stay there if the opportunity's there. Like, I don't know. I got this old saying, and it's fast money equals slow problems. I don't know if it relates exactly to Pokemon, but I don't know, like, it's difficult, isn't it? Anyway, on a more positive note, long-term investments. I think if you have a long-term mindset, it's going to serve you really, really well in this hobby. And there's countless examples I can give you. Probably the best example is something like Hidden Fates. I remember back, and I'm certainly not throwing a mate under the bus here, but this is sort of 5 years ago, or probably 4.5, 5 years ago. He goes, what's one of the best investments I can pick up? I just sort of have a, $1,000 Australian dollars and I want to park it into Pokemon investing. And I was like, yeah, sure. Well, currently I think a fantastic holiday set to park your money into is Hidden Fates. I'm not saying it's going to go up straight away, but the set is so loaded. It's almost like the Crown Zenith of Sun and Moon era. Like, you've got all the shinies, you've got a bigger shiny Charizard. Like, it's so loaded with so many Umbreons in there, so loaded with so many nice cards. Yes, it's been printed a lot, but long term, you're just not going to go wrong. So I would park my money there. And then what happened was, of course, after about 2 years, there'd been little to no price gain, and he sold them for basically, after, I suppose, fees and whatnot, what he bought them for. And all of a sudden, bang, of course, Hidden Fates has like tripled in price in the last 12 months. So if you have this short-term mindset, and that's not the only example. Another example, Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike Booster Box was like just squashed at a certain price for so long with like these minuscule gains across 3 years. And look at it now. If you have that short-term mindset, you're just going to get hurt. You're going to stress about things like reprints. Long-term mindset is the way to be. Like, I just don't think there's an easier way to do it with sealed products. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Number one on my list is Destined Rivals. This booster box, and look, I've crapped on certainly isn't the right word. I've offered constructive feedback on how this could have been a better card set. Why didn't I say Pokemon card set? Probably because someone always comments when I say Pokemon card set down in the comments below. Anyway, I've offered constructive feedback on how this could have been a little bit better. Not saying it, but I've never said it's a bad investment. I've always said it'll be a phenomenal investment. Why? It's got Mewtwo on the box. It's got Giovanni on the box. It's got Team Rocket as part of the slogan, it's got the nostalgia backed behind it. Moreover than that, it does also have nice chase cards. Could it have done more? Yes, I've always said that. But that doesn't make it a bad set. It's actually still a really, really good set with some really cool chase cards. And the booster box currently is sitting at $432. We haven't seen that level of parabolic growth straight out of the gate. I don't even think we saw that level with Evolving Skies. It's absolutely insane how little this booster box seems to exist. Like it just doesn't. Evolving Skies existed more than this booster box does. And will we ever see a reprint of the booster box of Destined Rivals? I've seen so many sleeved blisters sitting everywhere. I've seen other things like booster bundles for Destined Rivals sitting in places. It looks like there's going to be a reprint of Destined Rivals booster bundles. And if you've watched one of my previous videos, this isn't just like a short printed set. If we work off how many Mewtwo's are being graded, and I worked out somewhere along the line that it's been printed pretty fairly. And now with booster bundles reprints coming into play, it's like, will we actually ever see another booster box? If we don't, this will go parabolic even more than what it has very quickly. And even if we do see a small reprint and it drops prices to $300 or $280, there are so many people waiting on the sideline, including myself, that will just buy up those booster boxes as quickly as they come out, because we know how much this booster box means to people and how quickly it can go up in price. And long term, with everything that's part of this booster box that I mentioned, the nostalgia, the chase cards inside it, the difficulty it was to get it at launch, it will just perform so well long term. And it's also got the backing of two other Rocket sets in the past, EX Team Rocket Returns, and of course the original Team Rocket booster box way back in the day in Wizards of the Coast era. So it's been a long time coming before we had another Team Rocket based set or Team Rocket based booster box. This will be a very strong collector's item in the future. Long term, this will perform so well. And this is the thing about long term, if you're worried about reprints and you're worried about getting in at a desired price, does it really matter if you're holding for 20 years? Really? Whether you buy it at $430 a box or $320 a box. Okay, if you're planning on holding for 2 years and you want to double your money, of course it's easier to double your money from $320 to $640 than it is from $430 to $860. But if you're holding for 10 plus years, what does it really matter? If you believe in the product, if you believe that the Destined Rivals booster box will perform amazingly in 10 years, what does it matter? I mean, the difference is, if we're talking 10 years, that is, $100 now, 320-ish versus 430-ish, that's the difference between getting $9,900 and $10,000 for the booster box in 10 years' time, if it gets to that price. And whether you got either of those prices in 10 years, you're just going to be like, that's fantastic. The difference between 9,900 and 10 grand, it doesn't matter. It's a drop in the ocean. That's maybe the mindset you should have now. If you really believe in the product, go ahead and buy it. Number 2 on my list is the Charizard UPC, as it's colloquially known. It is, of course, actually known as the Sword and Shield UPC. It came out in Lost Origins set block as a ancillary product. It is so good. There's nothing to... It's actually one of those products that I can't really pick a hole in. And I like picking holes in things because I think it's important to be critical and have that judgment on certain products. But the Charizard UPC it's the golden child. It just sits there in class with its legs crossed, always putting the hand up, finishing its work on time, never annoying anyone. It's just such a good product. There is nothing at all wrong with it. It's already up to $414. I've harped on for multiple videos when it was $250, when it was $180, that this will be one of the best investments you can pick up modern wise. Grab it now before you miss it. And here we are now, $414. Same thing, if you have that long-term mindset, this is still a really good pickup. Ultra Premium Collection. There's two very strong words in there, Ultra and Premium, and this thing is definitely all of them. If we look on the screen here, you can see the 3 promos are top tier. I don't know if I've seen a better 3 promos come out of something. They are just top tier promos. 3 Charizards, 3 amazing artworks, will all be worth very strong money in the future. Even as PSA 10s, although the populations will be quite high, they'll be very sought after. The playmat is premium. The dice is premium. Just everything about this, including the pack selection. What happens quite often when you get a UPC is it gets flooded quite often with like junk packs, packs that maybe have been a little bit difficult to sell on their own, and it's a way for the Pokemon company to actually move those packs by putting them in ancillary products and maybe level them out with a couple of good packs to move on the bad stock, so to speak. And this, okay, there might be two packs that aren't good, but the rest of the packs, you're getting the greatest selection of Sword and Shield Alt Art packs inside here. Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, Lost Origin, Astral Radiance, Brilliant Stars. Like, there's just so much good to say about this. It'll be a phenomenal long-term investment. Before I jump on to number 3, just wanted to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collector app. If you don't have it, there'll be a link in the description to download it. You can put everything in here. All your sealed product, all your singles. It'll give you constant market data about how things are performing. There's tabs like Set Analytics where you can check on the total set value of any given set. There's trade buttons now, so you can see if you're trading this for this with someone else, is it going to be a fair trade? It'll show you total gains across your whole collection. If you're a pro user, there is awesome benefits and awesome giveaways, including so much more data across a longer time span if you're a pro user, which is so important in the investing space. Fantastic app. I urge everyone to download it. Again, link in the description. Number 3, none other than the greatest modern booster box since Team Up, and that is Evolving Skies. If we look back over the last 10 years, there's been 2 booster boxes that have just blown the competition out of the water. That is Team Up and Evolving Skies. And Evolving Skies is still at a reasonable price in the grand scheme of things. I'm not saying it's cheap, it's certainly not cheap. There's been sales, I think, pushing $3,000 on eBay at the moment. But if you look at Team Up price in comparison, which is more like a $10,000 box, this still comes across as somewhat reasonable. It will get to Team Up prices, mark my words, eventually. It is, coupled with Team Up, like I said, one of the greatest modern Pokemon card sets. Definitely the 2 in the last 10 years that are the best. It has, I don't need to talk through it too much. It has, of course, all the evolutions, bar the beautiful Espeon that comes in Fusion Strike. It has Rayquaza. Like, what else do you want? An Eevee and Dragon based set with amazing alt arts. That Dragonite is one of the most beautiful Dragonite cards we've ever seen in the hobby. Coupled with the fact that we're about to have a Dragonite SIR come out in Ascended Heroes and Dragonite be the hero, like it's on the Elite Trainer box, etc. I would argue maybe that the Dragonite from Evolving Skies is also going to lift up in price a little bit, dragging the total set value up even more. So good. Like, long-term investment, this will go down in history. It'll go down. It's very rare that we get such a good booster box set. We seem to be at the moment, or all the energy in the good sets seem to be going into holiday sets. Case in point, Crown Zenith. Case in point, 151. Case in point, Prismatic Evolutions. Case in point now, Ascended Heroes, which looks a very stacked set. When's the last completely stacked booster box we've seen? Look, I'm saying Destined Rivals is a fantastic investment. I'm not saying it's a completely stacked booster box. It doesn't compare, or it's not in the same league as Evolving Skies. So it's been a long time since we've seen a completely stacked booster box. Evolving Skies was it. Fantastic investment long term. And final one I wanted to talk you through for an awesome long-term investment is the 151 Ultra Premium Collection. It's north of $500, so it's not cheap. But again, if you're thinking long term, this will be an awesome investment. There is 3 wicked promos inside here. There's a Gold Mew. There's also an alt art or an illustration rare, special illustration rare Mew and Mewtwo inside here. The playmat is awesome, featuring Mew. Like, the pack selection, it's your biggest or densest way to get the most 151 packs. 151 packs will be extremely expensive in the future. Quite often we see ultra premium collections not looking all that ultra or not looking all that premium lately. And that's not to say they're not going to go up in price. Like, take, for example, the Greninja UPC we saw recently. I mean, it's got Greninja in the name. It's got the Shuriken on the front of the Ultra Premium Collection. You think, yeah, this will go up in price because it features Greninja. But then you look at the promos and you're like, wow, like, they're really poor promos. And look, the product's still gone up a little bit because at the moment everything's going up, but it's not going to go up or be as premium as something like this. The 151, the nostalgia, and that's probably a common theme you've noticed across all four of these. It's like A, they're phenomenal sets, or B, they've got phenomenal pack selection, or C, there's some level of nostalgia sitting amongst these. And that's something you can't discredit long term because people will always come back and chase that nostalgia feeling. That's why Wizards of the Coast products, EX era products are worth so much money. There we go, 4 long-term investments. I'm Michael, this is Pokey Oz. Catch everyone next time.